After my wife died, I always left a little money for the homeless man outside the library. One day he grabbed my hand and said, "You've been too kind. Don't go home tonight. Stay in a hotel. Tomorrow, I'll show you why." I watched my hand shake as I held out the $10 bill. Same routine, same corner, same homeless guy wrapped in that filthy green coat. But this time, his fingers clamped around my wrist. "You've been too kind," he whispered. "Don't go home tonight. Stay in a hotel. Tomorrow, I'll show you why." His eyes weren't cloudy or distant like I'd expected. They were sharp, almost military. "What are you talking about?" I pulled back, but he held firm. "Please, trust me. I've been watching your place. You're in danger." My heart hammered. This was insane. I'd been leaving him money for 3 months ever since Sarah died, and guilt made me do something, anything, that felt like goodness in a world that took everything from me. "Who are you?" "Tomorrow morning, right here. I'll explain everything." He released my wrist and I stumbled back, my briefcase nearly slipping from my grip. I checked into a Holiday Inn that night feeling like an idiot, but something in his voice wouldn't let me go home. At 11:47 p.m., my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Your security system just went offline. Thought you'd want to know." Marcus, my wife's brother, the one who'd been helping me sort through Sarah's estate paperwork, the one who had keys to my house because he'd insisted I shouldn't be alone during the difficult transition. My blood went cold. I called him. No answer. I called the police. They said they'd do a drive-by but couldn't enter without probable cause. I didn't sleep. The homeless man was standing when I arrived at dawn. Not sitting, standing. "My name is Dennis Park," he said. "Former detective, Portland PD, 23 years. I stared. Lost my pension in a divorce. Lost my will to fight after that." He pulled out a weathered badge wallet. The ID was real, but I never lost my instincts. "What does this have to do with—" "Your brother-in-law has been in your house 4 times in the past 2 weeks. Always at night. Always when you're working late." Dennis handed me his phone. Security footage. Grainy but clear. "Marcus, in my living room, going through Sarah's desk. How did you—" "I sleep across the street. I see everything." Dennis's jaw tightened. "Last night, he brought 2 other guys. They disabled your security system from outside. I recorded it all." My vision blurred with rage. "He's looking for something," Dennis continued. "Documents, probably. Insurance policies, property deeds. Your wife had money, didn't she?" "She did. A trust fund she'd inherited. We'd never touched it." "He thinks I don't know about it," I whispered. "He's planning to forge documents. Make it look like she left it to him before she died." Dennis handed me a flash drive. "Everything's on here. Video, timestamps. Even caught him on audio last week talking to someone about cleaning this up before the estate closes. The lawyer said we had enough for fraud charges and breaking and entering. But I wanted more than that. I wanted Marcus to feel what I felt watching someone I trusted destroy everything. So I invited him over, told him I needed help with Sarah's paperwork. He showed up with that same concerned expression he'd worn at her funeral. That same gentle voice. "Of course, brother. Whatever you need." I led him to the dining room where my lawyer sat, and a police officer, and Dennis, cleaned up in a pressed shirt. Marcus's face drained white. "Officer Chen, this is Marcus Holloway," I said calmly. "The man who's been breaking into my home. The man who planned to forge my late wife's signature on estate documents. The man who thought I was too grief-stricken to notice." The lawyer slid a folder across the table. "We have video evidence, audio recordings, and a witness." Marcus looked at Dennis, recognition finally dawning. "You?" His voice cracked. "You're just some bum on the street." "Former Detective Dennis Park," Dennis said quietly. "And I've seen enough criminals to know one when he's standing in front of me." The officer stepped forward with handcuffs. Marcus lunged across the table, screaming about misunderstandings and family, and how I was betraying Sarah's memory. But I didn't flinch. I just watched him thrash and curse as they pulled him toward the door, his face red with humiliation and rage. The last thing I said, as the officer pushed him outside, was the same thing Sarah used to tell me when someone wronged her. "Karma isn't a bitch. She's a mirror."